Hey YouTube. So with school and everything, I've decided to shift my schedule a little bit. So instead of doing these review sessions after the market, because in the middle of the day I just tend to do my schoolwork, so I don't want to interrupt the flow by doing this. And in the morning I'm the freshest, so what I'll do is just review my trades from the previous day before the market opens, get my mind working. So that's the new schedule. And then the live trading, we'll just record as always and upload. So let's get started. Also, I've noticed I've been trading kind of a lot, so I gotta dial that down. I don't think it's doing any good for me. I'm just it's not really good. Alright, let's see. So we started off with AMD. We added 2 long. So honestly, I think I should have had a short bias from the very beginning, from the very first bar, because this is the vision. You got position right here, right? Anything above here, close to here, you should be going long. In the first bar, it opens here, right? And it triggers all the way up here. In its full size, this bar is an elephant bar. It's huge. It's like this whole move times 2. So from that honestly should have been a trigger long. But the way it pulled back, I'm thinking this did not even... Let me check the 1 minute, because you could check. Normally I wait for 1 minute before I even trade. Exactly. If you waited for the 1 minute, you could already see this pulling back off of the high. On the first bar, it actually was all the way up here. You could see it already gave up like a third, and within the next minute it completely wiped it out. So on the 1 minute, it's pretty clear that, you know, if you waited properly past the 1 minute mark, you wouldn't have even entered long on that. So instead, what does that signify to you? That signifies a violent and immediate reversal of green, right? In 1 bar. Boom. Next bar does this. Takes out that color and puts in its own color. Like that's a signal that goes short. Even though it's against location, the way that it's so violent and powerful, that typically in the market's conditions nowadays, is what I see is more in follow through, you know. And if you didn't enter on that because it's too big, honestly, I could have entered 1 lot. This is a $1 bar. I get an add in the very next bar because it comes back 50% of this bar, right? And makes another tail. So 2 there. Stop was up here, but I added another. So you just go down. Stop at like 80, 70, and your ads are at like 25. Like it works out. That's 50 cents on 2 lots. And now you have a bit of resistance, right, going into position, but the violence should follow through, which is where I think I went wrong. I didn't see it for what it was, this move, because where did this really drop from? It didn't drop from here. It had to go up here first and then drop from there, right? So this already put in a whole like leg kind of, you know, and the bounce back, if it stays in the lower half, it should follow through. So I think that's where I went wrong. I put 2 lots on, going long on the color change, not seeing, like, kind of ignoring the trend. Maybe if the pullback was like this, you know, and the MA was rising more, then that'd be okay. But the way that it dropped to the pullback was violent, to the MA was violent, so that's why. But here's the first trade. I went long 2 lots here. The color change. Position, you got position right here. And my stop was here. And it just stopped out pretty violently. Right? Followed through from what it was putting in earlier. So name, color change, position. See how I had position on my side, but like violence and momentum could just sear through position like it's not even there. Because who said the MAs are to be respected? Nobody. If the MAs aren't even there, you wouldn't even know, and the price would just chop through. So price or position +1, and risk, good, minus 79. It wasn't a bad trade, but you know, something to learn. You gotta look at the bigger picture. Look at the momentum, you know. It's kind of like intuition that I need to build. That's what it is. Like I took a textbook pullback to the MA. I waited for the pullback. But was it really a pullback? Or was the MA just gonna serve as an area for momentum to bounce real quick and then drop through? You know? So not necessarily a bad trade, but need to look at the bigger picture. Need to see momentum and violence for what it really is, because you know an object in motion tends to stay in motion, something like that. And this move was violent from the beginning. The MA served as an area for price to bounce real quick and get a rest before dropping even deeper. But I kind of ignored the violence and saw it as a pullback color change to the MAs. Trades like this build my intuition, and now I know. Now I know the type of pullback I'd rather prefer to go long. It has to be something gentle. Back to like better rising MA, because If you look at the MA here, it's not even, it's just like just barely getting started, you know. Let me show you an example. I think Baba pulled back. Okay, nope. Maybe it was JPM. JPM. I think it was pretty nice yesterday. Something pulled back yesterday, I remember. Let me check. No. AXP. Here. This isn't exactly off the 20. I don't know what it's off of. Maybe the 8. Yeah. But you see how the pullback is not crazy? Not too crazy. It's a nice gentle pullback. Right? Boom. Boom. Get back to the old highs. And you gotta fill in this gap, right? You fill in this gap, this thing really only pulled back about halfway, which is what you like. Boom, at the MA, boom, boom. Nice 5-bar pullback. That's typically what I figured too, is if the pullback comes too quick in like 2 bars, I don't really like it. It's too deep. It probably means it's too deep because a pullback in 2 bars means it didn't get time to rest. Yeah. If you look at this gap, the gap here is not it already retraces about 100% almost. So the gap, or you fill it in because it basically gapped up to here because the open was here, but it was green all the way up here. 50%, bro. This thing, this bar already wiped out 50%. By the time it's down here, it already wiped out, filled in the whole gap. Like, it didn't even respect it. So let's see. Next trade, also AMD. This one should have been a winner. So not having enough finesse to take that, or maybe I wasn't even watching the markets yet because I was filming one of these journal sessions. I noticed this violence right here. Okay, so that's beautiful. What I was expecting was a bounce, and I noticed my stop could be on top of this bar at 20. So 2 lots, I could afford 50 cents down at around 70. This 200 was around 70. Yeah. So in my head, I was thinking this thing is gonna come back, hit that, retest real quick. That's what it did. But I didn't have finesse. I didn't have that finesse to hit the hotkeys on the way up. But that would have paid me nicely because 70 cents here, or 2 lots there at 70 cents, 107.70. Stop here, max loss, you know, perfect. I have this red bar, I have 200 to help me out. It drops. But I entered a bit more of the novice way. So I entered just right on the color change. So I couldn't afford it all the way up here, so my max loss was just like here. This was max loss. And then it dropped. Boom, boom, boom. So this is where I went wrong. I don't know where I I don't know what I should have started counting. Like 1, 2. I would say, yeah, I would say maybe that is 4 or 3 pushes, but I didn't take profit. I got probably had a decent amount to the bottom, 106.70, and I was in at 107.50, like 80 cents a lot. 80 cents a lot. That's like $160. So, yeah, I didn't end up taking profits. And I think I tightened up on this too much. Oh no, I didn't tighten up on it too much. I just had it too early. Excuse me. But you see how break even is here? It doesn't even hit it, right? Double dip got my ass, bro. Cause look, I saw the way this was trading on the 15. It was this bar right here. Right here. On the ad, I was hoping that it would just surge off and leave. But that wasn't the case. Oh, what happened? And that's why now I say I don't like these 2-bar pullbacks, because look, oh, I added here, and now I have to move my stop tight. Or I don't have to, but I did. I moved it to break even, reducing risk. I don't even know why I did that. You know, I typically that's something I do, like subconsciously. I just move stop when I add, I just reduce risk all the way to break even though I could still risk $100. So I don't know why I do that, but now my average price is at 07.37. I could have had my stop at 33 cents above that, which is 70. 107.70. Around here. Yeah, that would have been a way better stop, actually. I'm tripping. Because now my break even is at 37. And I decided to just move my stop there. Yeah. As you can see, I like barely wick out here. It's stupid, but yeah. 37. I have 3 lots. I could afford 33 cents on that. 33 cents from 37 is 70. Yeah, that's a way better stop. Above here. Above the 20 at least, you know. So that it could get retested. Then I pull the stop down. I'm pulling the stop down way too early. Missed the whole leg. The fact too is that this triggered and I didn't even add. And so I missed everything. This trade was kind of bad. Stop adjustment, the trade management, name, color change, position, off the 200. Risk is always good, but like, what's the point when I'm not making money? When I'm like, you know what, maybe what I should include in this risk checklist is how I manage the thing, bro. I'm putting this in bed because the more I think about it, it wasn't really good. Only the entry was, but they should have made money, but I didn't make money. Entry, initial entry. Entry was good. The 2-bar ad, the 2-bar pullback, typically, from what I've seen, doesn't go immediately. There's a tendency for it to trigger a color change and then double dip, pulling back all the way to the 20. That's what it did here. Oh shit. So that's what it did here. So if I do add on the double dip, my stop should be somewhere above the 20 MA, so that when it double dips, I'll know what price truly wants to do. And so when it double dips, I'll still be in the move and know what price truly wants to do. If the 20 holds, then good. I'm still in the trade. Then I can trail to the pivot. However, I already trailed to the pivot on the first dip. Of course, the double dip takes me out of the whole position. Obviously, I need to keep in mind max loss per trade, but in this case, I didn't even come close to violating $100 loss. I was just so stuck on locking in break even, and it ended up with me putting the stop super tight and stopping out in a dumb location before the 20 could help me. Yeah, so that's what happened there. This next trade was also on AMD, and I don't think I should have taken it, to be honest. I got played. Be back, y'all. Alright, y'all. For this one, third trade, what it was impatient, I guess. Trade didn't even trigger, but I took it. It's right here. Boom, drops. You know, pretty sure the 5-minute had room to drop as well. Unless it didn't. And I was trading right into this 200. 0623. Oh. Okay, maybe I was trading right into that 200 as well. Yeah. Okay. See, that's a problem because this is a trade I shouldn't have taken. And I lost money. So, I was trying to trade this. Boom, boom, 3-bar pullback. Looked nice. I was looking for 58 to trigger. This one technically triggered, but like I didn't even notice. So then I look at this one. I see a little bit of red and I enter. When I didn't even get 58, this only hit 59. My stop was on top of here. I stop out in the same bar, so how dumb is that? So enter here. I was gonna put 5 lots on that, But just from this is like the only good thing that I did. But I like pressed the hotkeys lightly. 2 lots just to test the waters. But I saw a price not following through, so I didn't add the rest of the size on. So I mean, I reduced risk, or I didn't even reduce risk, but you know, I could have potentially lost way more if I put on the whole 5 lots. Name, shit, I don't have name. Position, declining 8. Risk, good, minus 40 bucks. So that was a bad trade. Boom. So what could I say about this? This was a trade that I shouldn't have been in. I was impatient. Saw a little bit of red and entered anticipation, even though this setup requires confirmation and a takeout of the lows. I never got the trigger, but got in anyways. The only good thing about this is how I went in lightly first. If I spammed 5 lots on the hotkeys, it would have been a terrible loss. But as soon as I saw this, as soon as I got in and saw no follow through, I knew I made a mistake. And was ready to just bail on the 2 lots that I put on for no reason. Also, it was smack into the 5-minute 200. So I shouldn't have even. So that's another reason why this trade was an unnecessary loss. The trade should have been avoided altogether. Yeah, it was a bad trade. And from the 20 or the 5-minute 200, all I did was just bounce and pop up. There was no short. So that was just dumb. It never even triggered. The next trade is on Apple. I don't think I should have lost money on this, but I lost money. Because this, I'm pretty sure this trade put me up. I think it was off the 5-minute, but essentially it was this one as well. But I think my entry was on the 5-minute, off the 8 of May. I think it was this one right here. My entry was 175.42 over the bar's high. I could have had a bit of a earlier entry right here at 31.32. My stop was at 17 below this bar. But yeah, I put 4 lots on this with this stop here, right? As you can see, +1. Pretty sure I add right there. I honestly shouldn't have lost on this, but I did. Because it put in the new high. When it puts in the new high, I should reduce risk. Right? Boom. Pull back. Did it get above this? If it did, move your stop. See, that's the funny thing is because sometimes I move my stop when I don't even have this yet, but now when I have this, I don't move my stop. What's going on? Let's see. New high. Or I didn't enter there a bit later. Let's say there, 4 lots. Stop. I added here 1. I should have taken some. Question mark, why didn't I take there? And then I just had, so my average price was now at 45, and I just had this thing drop to 25 and take me out. I thought it wicked me out, because this thing took me out right on the dot. You see this bar's low is 25. I had my stop at 25. So literally, max loss. Thing literally took me out. About a cent. I thought this thing was gonna go, but pretty sure it dropped after. So name was pullback color change. Position was the rising 20 here above the flat 200. Risk. Actually, I'm gonna give myself a no on this. Original risk was good, but after the new high, I shouldn't have lost money. For, let's see, pretty sure the ad was here. At the new high, why didn't I take profits? And then, pretty sure I stopped out right here. I ended up taking a full loss on this, which is dumb. At the top, I had 76, and my average price was 45. I mean, obviously, I want more than 30 cents on almost $200 stock, but 75 minus 45, that's 30 cents. I have the new high. 5 lots, $150. That could pretty sure that could have put me green for the day actually. But I ended up taking a full loss, so that's not great. Let's take a picture of this too. Boom. Oh shoot. Let's see. What can I say about this? It's just weird how sometimes I move my stop so early when I don't even have the right yet, because I don't have the right to take profit. In this case, I had a new high. In this case, I had a new high. Didn't take profit. But at the worst, I should have made this a free trade and get out at break even. But I let it give back 150 bucks of profit and take me out for basically $100 loss. No good. Shouldn't have been a losing trade. Then we got AMD. Oh shoot. Wow. What time was this? 11:50. This was a nice move in the afternoon. When was this? 11:50. Where's 11:50 here? 11:50. This is 11:50. Dropped a bit. AMD +5 on the pullback color change. So I was a bit later in this trend. So this thing had already moved the full leg up. This thing's healthy as heck. Stays above 50%, even though it's trading right into the 200. Perfect pullback. Doesn't trigger over the high until the actual trigger goes. These are the cleanest ones, the ones that don't trigger until they actually trigger. Look, this high never got taken out. 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 Finally, this high got taken out, and then it goes. And I marked it out in the live trading video. If you didn't add here, you get a pause here at the 200. There's your ad. You already get new highs. I mean, you shouldn't be expecting too much if you're adding late. The real entry was down here. You got 1, 2, 3. And like the second leg, you should be looking for a new high, not 3 pushes. And you definitely got that. So yeah. But what I saw was this thing was pulling back. Right? Boom, boom, boom. It triggered right there. So, I mean, I just took it. Boom. Thought this could be a possible third leg, but it just pretty much went flat afterwards. I went 5 lots here with the max stop 96. I could have went more actually, but I wanted to give it some space below the 200. But it ended up not following through. Max, it like barely followed through. But for me to have take profit rights or even move my stop, I needed it to get above this. It didn't do that, so nothing bad with this trade, but just maybe consider the move it put in already. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this trade. It triggered. Rising 20 plus 200. I thought the 200 would give me extra power, but nope. What time was this? 11:18. 11:18. This bar right here. Yeah, this was up to 22. Maybe it got too far above the 20. Because you see how it had to travel this distance. Now the 20 is in the middle. So double that distance. That's probably, the measured move here. 50. Double that up. So that the 20 becomes the middle. It triggered on the 2 minute. That's all I'm going to say. And then 11:18 on this. So on the 15, I saw this bar was not trading above the 20, so I was thinking it would be okay, but not the case. Just got no follow through. It's not a bad trade. It's just I gotta consider where the move came from. Not a bad trade. It definitely triggered. What I can consider though is where the move originated and how far it got. Again, also the time of day. It was like getting to that 8:30, so a bit later in the day. Got no follow through. And price went flat. On the 5 minute, you could see the measured move. The 20 MA basically becomes the median line. What do I mean? Below the 20, the distance below the 20 to the 20 was pretty much the same as the distance that price traveled from the 20 above the 20. So it was bound to pull back soon. Let me just, oh shoot. Let me just include a picture of that. What I mean by that. A bit less, I guess, but here, 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 here. Becomes about the median line, so pulls back. And we got one more trade. Let's finish that up before the market starts. Got 5 minutes to do that. Then Baba, 10 lots short. This one, questionable trade. Pretty sure it was this one. Yeah. So minus 82. On the 2 minute, it looks okay because it has a couple R's. Boom. 1R, 2R, 3R into the 200. It looks okay to drop, but when you look at the higher time frame, no good. Name, pullback, color change, position, declining 20. And I'm trading on the least powerful, the lowest time frame. It's obviously gonna have the least power, and it's gonna be more noisy. I'm gonna put this in bed though, because I shouldn't have taken it. This was how it was looking. I guess it did drop after, after it took me out, but like overall it just kind of went flat. And why? The issue was here. Boom, 50% pullback, color change. I was trading against this 20 right here, trading into 5-minute support. Um, 2-minute doesn't look too bad. The way I triggered in, it had space to the 20 MA or 200 MA, about 3 hours, which is good. However, zooming out on the higher time frame, I was trading against trend. It was simply a 5-minute pullback that was not even close to breaching below 50% of the move yet. Also, the rising 20 was right there. Overall, it was getting kind of messy because the 5-minute hooking 8 was also there. So I don't know if the long was too valid either, because it had the hooking 8 and then the over and then the 200 right overhead. So that was the day's trade for yesterday, and let's do some right things today. All right, up 600 on the Monday, up 100 Tuesday, down 400 the past couple of days. So that's down 700 minus 800, down 100. Let's just add fees, $100. So maybe down 200 for the week. We'll see what happens today. Thank you guys.